Hi, Elle here, and today on day 4 of your Jumpstart Sprint, we're going to talk about a tool I call the Spirit of Contribution. It just lacks a better name, I know, but I think you'll get it when I share in here for you. So we're a very competitive society, right? And you may be finding yourself comparing yourself to others. You've got some perfectionism that you suffer from because you're always trying to just do so much and do it so well, and creates a lot of tension in your body. And so this is a tool to help you start to contribute instead of compete. Here's why. When we're in that competitive situation, if we fear that we might lose it all, that builds tension. So if we win, I consider it like a split hand. We could win, which is great. But if we lose, that's not so great. And if we fear that we might lose, we build tension and now we don't perform so well. The other thing we do, and it's very subtle, but we hold back a little bit. We don't give our all in our projects, in our relationships, in our studies. We hold back a little bit because if we don't get the target that we were aiming for, we have the reason why. We didn't give it our all. So it's real subtle, but I think you can probably think of some times when you could have given just a little bit more, but you held back. You were trying to protect yourself. And when we're in fight or flight, we'll really pull back a little bit. We won't go all the way. So this is a tool to try and start to open that up for you. And it's one of my more complex tools in my course, but I wanted to share it right up front in this Jumpstart for you because for some of my clients, it's their number one tool. And when they start using it, they notice that a lot of the stressors kind of diminish because they're in a different mindset. They're in the mindset of contributing instead of competing, if that makes any sense. So here we go. Targets, triggers, tools. The target here, I'm going to use this idea that you have some sort of a work project, school project, depending on your situation. You want to do well. You want to do well. That's the target. So if you can think of something that I need to do well on this, go ahead and write it down. This is something you're aiming to do well. The trigger is any sort of, again, anxiety, feeling angry, annoyed, anything like that, that's going to take you out of where you're trying to go with this target. So can you think of anything that makes you feel angry, anxious, annoyed, or ashamed that could prevent you from doing well here? For example, maybe you're doing well on a project means you have to give a speech and you're feeling a little anxiety about public speaking. So that's the little trigger, like thinking about the audience or thinking that you might be late to the event or any of those little things like that. Or if you're doing it online, that the tech might not work. I get a lot of tech stress, by the way. Tech stress is a huge one for me. So what is your trigger, or a few triggers? And then here's the tool. So the spirit of contribution is when you give your unique gifts and talents openly and freely with an open hand, with no fear of loss. It's like stepping into your true value rather than trying to be someone you're not. Like that imposter syndrome. Have you heard that word before? Like, oh, if people only knew what I was thinking on the inside. Well, let's get that to start to match. I use this tool when I'm crossing into a new room, like a doorway or threshold into a new building. So let's say you're in your home and you're walking into your office to do some sort of big project. Then you're walking in there, and when you walk in there, say to yourself, how can I contribute? Once you're done your work, by the way, and you walk back out to the kitchen, ask yourself, how can I contribute? Instead of complain about the dishes that are piling up or complain about nobody helping around the house, see if you can start to contribute with a nice, softer voice. People will probably help out more if you use that voice too. So the spirit of contribution, I'll give you a real life example. I had a person who had been working with the same boss for 35 years, and she has to present programs, and he thumbs ups or thumbs down the program and the money and all of that. And so she felt like it was a real fight to get her program approved. So she decided to walk in the spirit of contribution. She walked in, smile on her face, feeling good, contributes the idea. He likes it so much he gives her more money and more staff to do the idea. Now, he wasn't different. Well, he acted differently because she came in with a different energy. When you walk into a room with contributing energy, that's going to be so different than competitive energy. People are going to want to be a part of what you do. So play around with that idea of contribution, see if it's helpful, and tomorrow we'll give you another tool. Have a great pressure-free day.